האם מזון רפואי עדיף?
You want the best for your pet, and when they're sick, sometimes that means buying expensive prescription pet food.
But what are you actually getting? Senior investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher lab tested prescription pet food, and what she found may be very hard to swallow.
Okay, sweetie.
Prescription pet foods require a prescription from your vet. So it's reasonable to think you're buying medically necessary, pure, high-quality, active ingredients to make your pet well.
Is it medicine?
It has some kind of like medication or something in there to help, whether it's with like their anxiety or something.
There is no medicine in prescription pet foods. There's nothing prescription in the food at all.
Dr. Karen Becker is a veterinarian who specializes in critical cases and nutrition. She says she often uses food as her strongest medicine, but never prescribes processed prescription diets.
There's no drug, there's no medication, there's no herb. So by prescription means you have to buy it from your veterinarian, but the list of ingredients on the back of the food is usually not much different than regular pet food.
But given that prescription diets can be more than 4 times as expensive as regular pet food, we wanted to know if the products at least contained cleaner, higher quality ingredients. At Ellipse Analytics, a specialized lab in Denver, we tested 125 prescription pet foods from 4 leading brands: Hill's Science Diet, Royal Canin Veterinary Diet, Blue Buffalo Veterinary Diet, and Purina Pro Plan Veterinary Diet. We looked for more than 130 contaminants, including heavy metals like mercury and arsenic, antibiotics, pesticides, and mycotoxins produced by certain molds that can cause illness and even death. The results were compared to similar tests on more than 1,400 traditional pet foods. Overall, the prescription pet foods performed no better than their off-the-shelf counterparts.
You're buying the exact same level of purity and cleanliness that you would have gotten if you'd gone and bought a product at a Walmart. That should be concerning because you would expect, given the price premium these products command, and given that they're being fed to very sick animals, that they would be made with a higher degree of purity, a higher degree of ingredient supply chain control than this data says they are.
And in some cases, prescription brands performed worse. Our tests showed 40% of prescription pet foods contained pesticides, one of the highest incidence rates of any category the lab has tested. The lab also found glyphosate, the controversial weed killer that is the active ingredient in Roundup in some of the products.
For many of these contaminants, we don't have ceilings. The pet food industry has not set industry standards. So glyphosate, for instance, there isn't a legal or safe limit for dog and cat glyphosate levels.
Becker says for already compromised pets, these contaminants add an additional burden.
Because pet foods are not regulated the same as human foods, pet parents could be purchasing these foods assuming that they're fixing one issue when they could be creating another medical issue.
Several lawsuits against Mars, Purina, Hill's, and others allege that the sale of prescription pet food is deceptive, collusive, and in violation of federal antitrust laws. 2 cases are pending in Kansas and Missouri. Another one in California was dismissed and is now on appeal.
If a brand manufacturer wanted to reduce the amount of heavy metals or pesticides, they could do that by changing their sourcing, changing their quality control standards. These are fixable issues because we find that a lot of the times brands are making products that are in the market that don't have these issues.
Dr. Becker says proper nutrition can be healing, and the premise for these diets makes sense. But without clean, high-quality ingredients, they could be harmful to pets and her profession.
These types of test results that you have discovered are not only not shocking to me, it's very frustrating because it causes pet parents to lose faith not only in the veterinarian, but in pet food companies across the board.
We contacted all 4 companies and requested interviews and answers to specific questions. Purina is the only company that responded with a statement that said, in part, veterinary diets are pet foods specially formulated to help nutritionally manage specific medical conditions. We welcome rigorous science and peer-reviewed research that employs sound methodologies and validation. Now, of course, all of our tests were done in a highly accredited lab, and the data was reproduced and validated using industry standard methodologies. We'll post Purina's full statement and our questions that went unanswered on WJLA.com.
Well, the obvious question is, why do they call them prescription diets when it doesn't appear there's any active ingredients in them?
Prescription is actually a marketing term. It's been trademarked by Hills, which is the reason all of the other brands are not allowed to use that word. So that's why you'll see therapeutic diet or veterinary diet on the other brands.
All right. Now we know at least what to look out for.
It makes you almost want to cook for your pet. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, as hard as that would be, it's.
Well, we did a one-on-one on this last year, and it's on WJLA.com, how to cook for your pet.
All right, good enough. Look that
Thank
up.
you,
Lisa,
Lisa.
thanks very much
You're
for
welcome.
that.
Dear Dog Love.
הרפואה הגדולה מכולן היא ללמד אנשים איך לא להזדקק לה. רוצים גם אתם לדעת מאיזה מזון להימנע ואיזה מזון מומלץ? וכיצד לגרום לחיה שלכם להיות בריאה יותר? כנסו לקבוצת הפייסבוק שלנו, כלבים וחתולים חוזרים אל אמא טבע. כי ישנה רק